Hello, everyone. This is Maureen, and welcome back to another day of praying through the darkness. What do you rely on nowadays to get you from, say, point A to point B? Well, in my day, whenever we would take a road trip to a new place, we would get out. Yep, some of you know what I'm talking about, don't you? We would unfold the road map. Mm-hmm. And if you were really lucky, and when I say lucky, it's because it was very expensive, folks, we would get a road atlas that was in a book. I can't at the moment remember what it was called, but that thing was huge. Now it's a little over exaggeration, but I mean it was big. But anywhere that had been mapped, any road you needed to know was in that book, especially if you were traveling from state to state. But if you were just traveling, say within your own state, and you all know I'm from Texas, so Texas is pretty big. And we have not only interstates and state highways and regular highways, but we also have country roads and even just little bitty back roads. There may be just dirt roads, but even those are marked. So whenever we knew that we wanted to go somewhere, we would, kind of not highlight because you didn't want to mark up your map that much. But we would kind of map out where we wanted to go, and we would study it to the point that we'd try to keep as much of it up here in our memory as possible. You don't have to do that anymore, do we? I mean, all we got to do is either plug it into our phone. Uh, those of us that have newer cars and have the screen there on the console, you can just type in the address. In a few minutes, up it pops and it says, push start to start your destination. Be sure to obey all traffic signs and road hazards, all that kind of, y'all know the little jingle that it pops up at you. And all you have to do is just listen to it, and it'll most times direct direct you to where you want to go. Now, I don't know about you, but every once in a while when we're on a long trip, we have to pull over and let it reset itself for whatever reason. Maybe it needs an update. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is we we normally have a road map, don't we? Well, we also have a road map for our Christian lives. And we know that whenever we study God's Word. In fact, in Psalms 119, 111, it says, Thy word have I hid in my heart, so that I may not sin against you. What does that mean? I mean, why is it so important for us to study God's Word daily? Well, here's the reason. God's Word, His instructions, His stories, the parables that Jesus gave us, the stories that we find from the Old Testament, they are all words of examples for us to live our lives. And it also is that roadmap that helps us whenever we kind of come to a fork in the road where do I go this direction or do I go this direction? Well, folks, when we study God's Word, when we memorize verses, when we memorize chapters, whatever it is that you do in order to keep His Word treasured and in your heart, those words help us, guide us to know which fork to take. Honestly, God's Word is put here for us to study, to seek out for all of our important decisions. And even the ones that we don't find that are all that important. Because once we study God's Word, memorize it, really soak it in, let it get down to the core of our soul, God's Word helps us to fight temptation. It truly does. It helps us to know that if we go this path, we are on the path that God has designed for us. But if we allow temptation to take us away from that path, then we've not studied or we've not taken to heart what it is God has for us. Now, you might find a little controversy in that statement, and that's okay. I mean, it really is. But to me, studying God's Word strengthens my knowledge of who He is. It solidifies for me the love that He has for me, the direction that He wants my life to go, and for me to know that He's always there with me, folks, even when I take or make the wrong decision. He is. He doesn't turn His back on me or get angry at me or punish me because I've gone against His will. Because He knows that eventually something's going to click in my heart and remind me that the decision I've just made, or made a few days ago, or even a few hours ago, was not in accordance with what the Bible would want me to do. So I believe that the roadmap that we need to follow is found in the Bible. And, we don't just study a roadmap when we're traveling from one place to the other one time. Or at least I don't, or didn't. We studied it over and over again, just to make sure that we knew where we were going. It's that way with our study every day when we go to God's Word. Yes, I've told you many times my most favorite verses in the Bible is Psalms 23. And yes, I have every word of that psalm committed to memory. But that the meaning of those verses, or even just a few words out of a verse, change for me depending on the situation that I'm in. Because even though I know God is with me through the valleys and the shadows of death, I know that He's with me. Even though I know He prepares this wonderful table before me in spite of my enemies, that tells me God is with me even in those trials. And yes, He is going to be with me when it is time for me to pass from this world to the next. God is with me because just in that Psalms for me, every stage of my life, every day, every hour, I am assured that by following God, I don't have to worry about what the path is for me. Now, does that mean that I don't have to worry about temptation? Oh, no, 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 no. It's always going to be there. I mean, we know that. But what it does tell me is that by holding close to what is told to me in the Bible, what is instructed to me in the Bible, when I study God's Word daily, I know that I am armoring myself with the roadmap that He has for me. Your love, God, along with your laws, are full of your characteristic kindness and mercy. You do not demand anything that you do not give me the resources to live out. You lead me in your unmatched wisdom on the pathway of life. You do not guide me into destruction. Everything you do is to build me into a pillar of your love. You restore the wasted years and rebuild the ruins that the storms of life left in their wake. Your faithfulness is unparalleled. My heart will fill with delight as I watch you work everything out in my life for your good. Where there is pain, you come with healing. Where there is shame, you bring mercy that completely disarms it. As I follow in your ways, I find that your nature is visible everywhere I go. You are so worthy of my trust. Good Father, I will follow you as you lead me on the path of your pure love. Even in the trials, I know that your goodness will prevail. You will lead me into life. Of that I'm sure. My heart is yours today and always, God. Please continue to guide me. Yep, folks, God's Word that He gives to us in the Bible is our roadmap to the life that He wants us to lead. All we have to do is study it every single day. Commit a portion of it every single day to your mind and into your heart, so that when temptation does arise, you know which fork you're supposed to go. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today to hear these words that are brought to us today from this little blue book that's put out by Broad Street Publishers. You'll find a link for it down in the description box. All you got to do is click on it. It'll take you right to it. And as I like to tell you, it's a wonderful resource to add to your library of little devotionals wherever you seek to find them. Thank you once again for being here. Please don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment. How many times have you relied on the roadmap from God's Word? If this was your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. I do hope that you will hit that subscribe button on your way out and look for the bell that has those cute little hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload content to share with you. Don't let the chaos of the world take you away from the path that God has for you. Study the roadmap. Study God's Word. You can't go wrong. And remember, I love you. Don't forget that. Whenever you are tried to be told that you are unworthy, that no one loves you, remember, Maureen does. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.